We had 127 girls signing up, and that meant you had to have all these doctors that you had to visit that would find out if you got enough upstairs. We started out with 127 from all over the state and the area, and pretty soon we were down to half. And near the end, they weighed me, and I was underweight. It was 2 pounds, and I was 1 inch under height. And the doctor says, "I tell you what, I want to get in so bad." And he said, "I'll meet you halfway." He says, "If your spine was straight like other people, I got a curved spine." He said, "You'd be 5 foot." I said, "Put it down." He did. He added the 2 pounds on, I was right on the mark. We were completely bored out of our mind. We pulled the footlocker out in the middle of the aisle, brought our pillows, sat on the floor, and played cards. We always found something to do.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting there feeling sorry for yourself, do something, you know.
Yeah. Where did you serve? Did you serve overseas or stateside?
No, they seldom sent the ladies from the wax division overseas. However, my girlfriend got to go because she could speak German, and she was in Eisenhower's thing. Her boyfriend was his chauffeur, and she jumped out of the car real fast when he came out of the building, Eisenhower. He says, "Oh, no, get back in. I'd sit in the back seat." He's a very friendly man, and the troops loved him. He was a good man. But the rest of the women were mostly nurses. Yeah. The medical, all the way down. Which we lived a block from their barracks. And we did not blend because they were all officers. We were nothing but little stuff at the bottom. Oh, this is the love of my life. I had given up years ago and seeing anything. And even my 3 brothers, you know, they'd have given the right arm for a trip like this. So, well, 2 have died, and my other brother is taking care of my house and my cat. And yeah, I wanted to see this part of Washington. I was here in the 1960s visiting my aunt and uncle. Well, my uncle was a congressman. We're nobodies, you know, from Wisconsin. They took us to some mighty fancy places and horse races and fun. We had a lot of fun, but we did not get to see any of the monuments. It wasn't on the calendar, you know. So I said, well, at that time I gave up. I said, I'm never going to see this. So I traveled around the world instead. And when I was informed of what was going on, I couldn't believe it. And I said, oh, no, there's something behind this, you know. Nothing that good is going to happen. This is the best thing, the best vacation I've had in my life. So, and more important, because the places in Europe that I wanted to see, I saw them. But there is no feeling behind these, like your monuments and everything, to remind people, you know, this is our country, and we've got to protect it. So 4 out of 5 of my family was in the service. Well, I'll tell you what, for a long time now, my daughter, one of my daughters has a foster home, and she takes the unwanted people that nobody else will take seriously. This is a bad job. And so I've seen and they're teenage girls, and they're the hardest of all. I've given them some sermons. I said, wake up and smell the coffee. I said, you're not going to be a kid forever. You can't go out and do these stupid things. And they said, well, what are we supposed to do? I said, well, at your age, I said, you're approaching a time where you can get in the service. Well, why would I want to do that? I said, it's very exciting. You learn a whole new life. and people can straighten out straighten you out. You'll get a different outlook in life, and you'll end up happier. And they said, yes, but you have to do everything they tell you. I said, yes, it's like being in jail for a while.
So you think the service made you a better person?
Definitely, definitely. I seem to meet people easier, because I'm a little guy that nobody notices, you know. So I said, well, do it on a one-by-one basis. That's how to do it. I said, just start that way. And I was amazed, really, like I said, I was amazed at how good people really are down inside. So, yeah, that's the best training in the world. You can't have everything you want like your kid. You grow up. Now, the thing is, history doesn't do it in the schools. It's not telling these kids what we actually had happen. And the misery that people went through, plus the tremendous, wonderful thing when the war is over, how we celebrated. And they grow up. You know, they become people, not children. So, it's you know that you have to take care of yourself. You got to obey the rules and then have fun. And get more friends. Don't go out in a bar or something looking for friends. You're not going to find them that way. The service is the best way. Well, boot camp wasn't as hard as I thought it'd be. That's number one. They were very good to us, but we had to really be on time, for one thing. Oh yes, when you fall out in the morning at 5 o'clock, not every day, but this is to catch the ones that aren't paying attention, you know. You get into order, and the CO walks down the line, and her secretary, the sergeant, walks along with a big pair of shears. Now, she goes across the back of your collar and clips off all the hair that's there, no matter how much or how little. It must not touch. That was scary for all the girls. They were just terrified of that. But other than that, you know, after a few days, you say, well, this isn't so hard, no matter what. You got to stand in line. I said, you do it at the movie theaters. So what? This is no different. You can compare what you're doing with something else, and then you say, hey, you know what? I see why they got laws and rules, because it makes things easier, and nobody gets slighted. Well, that went over good too. But you find friends that you can't believe that they're in the same boat. Sometimes they're sitting there crying, and you have to console them, say, hey, it's just today, tomorrow better. But it's a matter of getting along. But the thing of it is, a lot of them, and I would say the majority of the women that signed up, had a brother or some other relative that was in the service, and the terrible things that he was going through. And I said, yeah, and you're not going to go through any of that hell. You know, you're being pampered like your baby sister. So when you got to stop and think about it. These girls had never been away from home. And you got to comfort them, but you got to show them why we have these rules. When we got bored, the one thing I like to do, and they allowed me to do it, in fact, I think they were glad to get me to do it. I played drill instructor. I love to march because I like it was so organized. And so I get half of them. I think the best I ever had was somewhere around 20 girls. Yeah. And I said, let's go out on the field and practice. And of course, a lot of them didn't, but we did that, maybe 2-3 times a week. And then I saw my CEO looking out the window. He said, oh, I guess we're in trouble. we did it on our own. You don't do that. So I thought, oh, we're going to catch it. She complimented me,
Yeah.
and I felt so good.
I know you touched on all of you having brothers in the Army serving overseas or elsewhere. What was it like for you guys to
Worry about them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. And occasionally someone had lost a brother, and everybody sympathized. It was not fun for the people at home, and especially the parents. That was horrible for a mother. And I think this was what started the women's organization. They wanted to help the brothers. Maybe we didn't do a lot, but I think there's quite a few times that it helped. And then it raises your self-esteem to know that you've accomplished something, even if it's little. Work up to the big thing. So, yeah, I had 3 brothers, and 2 went into, let's see, the Army, I guess, and 2 in the Navy. We were a mixed family, but we had a lot to talk about when we got home.